Hey, everybody. It is Thursday here on MFSN, which means it is another time for us to do our preseason baseball strategy show and our draft tips. I'm here with the omniscient, omnipotent, and the best fantasy baseball analyst I know, Ross. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, everybody. Ross the Boss here, coming live from La La, California. Yeah, Lipstick City. And yeah, we're going to talk about third base and outfield baseball projections. I don't think Jackson Profar would be on my list this year, Casey. What do you think?
I think Jurickson Profar might go down as one of the dumbest baseball players ever. He just came off an 80-game suspension. Within a year, he gets suspended again. Unless he's got some medical reason, I'm not exactly sure what what pharmacy he was shopping at.
Millions of dollars. And he really thinks they're not going to test him every other day for steroids. Really?
Well, and the problem is, he got a guaranteed contract from the Braves. He could have stunk it up and not taken anything and been awful and still made the money. So who knows? It was just a poor guy. He was a number one prospect for years when he was with the Texas Rangers.
I remember we talked about him. I mean, he was like a phenom at his age too. He came up when he was 19, 18 years old. I mean, we talked about him.
Oh my!
And now I think his career is over with. That's my opinion, but
it's got to be. Who in their right mind is going to give this guy another chance?
The Yankees.
Look, A-Rod was an exception. They were bound to him for hundreds of millions of dollars. They couldn't just cut him.
Yeah, A-Rod is a good exception. He still won't keep being in the Hall of Fame, even though he's trying to be this nice guy now, but that act is getting kind of old.
Oh, he seems so disingenuous every time he talks.
Yeah, I did a show with him for CNBC a while back, and he wasn't the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah. That's too bad. Yeah. Never meet your heroes, right?
I never want to meet Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam, who I'm a big Pearl Jam guy. I don't want to meet him.
All right. Well, one thing we haven't mentioned, the World Baseball Classic started today. United States starts playing tomorrow. They play Great Britain and Italy this weekend, I think, and maybe Mexico too. I'm not sure about the third game.
They play Mexico. I thought they played Mexico. I thought it's Friday they play Mexico tomorrow.
I'm not sure which game is first. Okay. I thought Great Britain.
I think Mexico's tomorrow on Fox.
Okay. But it'll be fun to watch. I mean, talk about a dream team. Those lineups, the Dominicans lineup is crazy. Venezuela's lineup is pretty darn good too.
Casey, we got U.S., Venezuela, we got Mexico, got the Dominican, and the team that I like to win it, don't call me a traitor, is Japan. I think Japan, I think they just have so much more national pride. I mean, they take these games so seriously. I don't know how much the U.S. is taking it seriously, but I know Japan, it's for them, this is like World Series times 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, Ohtani left training camp last week so he can go to his team and take some BP and hang around with his players. I mean, they take it really seriously in Japan compared to the U.S.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the U.S. doesn't care, but I'm just saying it's a whole different
level. All right. So back to the purpose of the show. Today, we're going to talk about third base and outfield. And what we want to do today is kind of give you, obviously, everybody knows who the top 5 or 7 players at every position are by now. You can Google it. You can look it up anywhere. We're going to talk about tiers and who we have as kind of where we see the separations between those guys. But what I really want us to focus on are the ones people might not be talking about who could potentially be difference makers that you might be able to get later in your draft. And some of the ones people are talking about that we have concerns that could bust. They could end up being nothing. So let's talk about third base first. I personally have only one third baseman in my top tier. How many do you have?
Only one? No way. It's not Wade Boggs, is it?
Oh, Wade Boggs riding a horse after the Yankees won the World Series. Riding a horse around Yankee Stadium was one of the funniest memories I have as a baseball fan.
Wow.
He was crying riding a horse.
I'm impressed. Well, let's talk. I mean, might as well tell us who your number one tier.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to argue that Jose Ramirez, even though he's a little bit up there in age, is clearly the best third baseman. I mean, he's a power speed guy who hits over 300. he's done it every year. It seems like with nothing around him. He might be 33, so he could begin to slow down, but he's a first round pick for me.
I agree. I think it's a one tier with Ramirez on the top. And then there's the second tier, which I kind of have a few guys that you're saying, what are you on drugs? But, we're talking about fantasy, talking about people hitting home runs, RBIs and stuff like that. So I think Ramirez, we both agree. Let's move on. Second tier, go.
I have two. I have Junior Caminero from Tampa Bay, and I have Jazz Chisholm of the Yankees. Chisholm plays second base also, and a lot of people are going to put him at the top of the second base list. But I have him at third base as well. I don't have anybody beyond that.
I know I'm a homie. I'm going to say it just because he plays in Cincinnati this season. He played in Cincinnati before. He had huge years in Cincinnati, 100 RBIs, close to 40 home runs. I mean, monster. Suarez, just a monster player in Cincinnati. Yeah. I'm going to put him in the second tier because the only thing that can hurt you with him is probably stolen bases and batting average.
Yeah.
But home runs, RBIs, he's going to hit a lot of home runs in Cincinnati. And his batting average is getting better. Like he played in Seattle. His batting average wasn't bad as it used to be. But I like Suarez as, I guess you could say, more of a sleeper maybe, or value, one of the two.
Yeah, but, I mean, the guy's going to hit you 40 bombs. He might not have the best batting average year in and year out, but at this point, 230 is a respectable batting average in baseball.
I think the average is 238, I think, is the Major League Baseball average. So those are great. I mean, we're on the same page, obviously. The next tier, I'm going to put up Austin Riley. I know he was hurt last year. He was a monster when he was healthy. I just think he's going to have a comeback year. He hits in Atlanta, great place to be a hitter. I'm putting Austin Riley. As much as I know this guy's old, Manny Machado.
But he's Mr. Consistent.
It's so funny. Like every year, you and I always say he's too old. We're not taking him. He's too old. And every year he has a great year. So this year, you could quote me. He's going to have 30 home runs. He's going to have 100 RBIs. He's going to be a decent ball player at third base in San Diego. And taking Manny Machado is not a bad move. So Austin Riley, Manny Machado. What do you think about Alex Bregman?
I hate him in Wrigley Field. I really do. I think you're not going to get power out of him in Wrigley. He's not the same. He doesn't run like he used to. He's one of my busts. It has deep outfield corners, and as opposed to he played his career with the Crawford boxes or the Green Monster. Like those are the two, and now he's going to Wrigley, where the corners are actually in some ways harder to hit home runs than straight away. I have him as my biggest bust pick this year. Wow. The other one I have as a potential bust is Junior Caminero. I love the kid. Don't get me wrong. If I can get him in the third round, I'm probably going to take him if he's there. But last year they played at Steinbrenner Field, and I think his OPS was over 100 points higher there than it was any place else. And now he's going back to the Trop, which is not hitter friendly.
Casey, I know they revitalized the Trop. Supposedly they're playing it this season.
Sure,
but that place is such a horrible place to watch baseball, to play baseball. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Tampa Bay with their attendance, but I mean, how much longer will they be in Tampa Bay? In all seriousness, it's just
I don't even know anymore. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I have him as a bust if you take him in the first round or high second round. I don't think he's gonna even if he regresses because he's back in the Trop, he's probably still a 250, 260 hitter with 30 plus home runs. So it's not like you're struggling if you get him. I don't like that move for him. What are your? This guy came up was heralded as a prospect when he came up with the Phillies, didn't amount to much. Now he's in Kansas City. Michael Garcia had a great year last year, but he came out of nowhere. And how old is he now? Is he 27, 28? I don't even know.
He's in his mid-20s. I mean, the thing about him is he can play different positions. I mean, he's a guy, if you draft him, and if you need somebody at second base.
And he stole 37 bases
Yeah,
in
shortstop,
2024.
outfield, Casey. I mean, this guy's multitask. I'm not in love with him. If I can get him in late middle rounds, we can talk.
Yeah.
But I'm not. He's not like one of these guys I'm looking to draft early early middle.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he's right behind probably Austin Riley or Eugenio Suarez.
Somebody I want to ask you about, because I love this guy, and I just don't know why he doesn't get any respect in fantasy. I've done some drafts. This guy either gets not drafted in a 10-person league or he gets drafted very late. And if he's healthy, he's one of my favorite guys to watch. Is Royce Lewis of the Twins.
Well, the problem I love Royce Lewis, and
I know I do too.
But he hasn't been able to stay healthy at all. And the last 2 years, when he was healthy, it wasn't all that impressive. When he came up his rookie year, he was sensational. The start of his second year, he was really, really good, and then he got hurt. I have him as a value pick or one of my favorite bounce back candidates, but he kind of reminds me a lot of one of his teammates, Byron Buxton, who is talent out his pores, but spent 7 years almost unownable because of the amount of time he'd spend on the injured list. I'm hoping, and now Buxton last year was incredible, and he's already hit a home run for Team USA this year. I think he's probably one of the 10 best outfielders right now. Hopefully Royce Lewis can learn a lot from that and learn how to take care of himself so he doesn't get hurt, because I agree with you. He's a power speed guy who's has all the tools to be a star.
Now, if you want to take a chance, if you want to just take this guy late, I would say late 9th, 10th round maybe, is the White Sox Japanese phenom, they're calling him now in Chicago. I mean, they love this guy. The press loves him. Murakami.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's playing in the World Baseball Classic, correct? He's playing for Japan?
Yes.
I didn't see the Japanese rosters, but I mean, they love this guy. This guy, power, supposedly he has some speed. I have not seen him play. I've not seen him hit the ball once. So all I'm talking about is what the press writes about him and his stats in Japan, which are phenomenal. But he's a guy I'll put him down as a value pick, even a sleeper, because I don't know if he can hit.
Well, the other Japanese third baseman who you can talk about is that
the Toronto guy.
Yeah, the Toronto guy, Okamoto, I think. Kazuma Okamoto.
You're right. You're Japanese.
29 years old. He's not as decorated as Murakami, but I think he's a better contact hitter. And I
always like these Japanese guys. I don't know why.
Yeah, they don't. You get a high floor with them. You might not get the same ceiling unless you get Ohtani. You might not get the same ceiling, but the floor is always really solid, and he's done it before. Like, he's played professional ball for how many years now? So he's a good one. And going back to Cincinnati, your boy Noelvi Marte. If you remember, he came up several years ago and was as a heralded prospect and was dynamite. Then he had the performance enhancing stuff that kind of floored him, but I see him as a sleeper. I think he's being overdrafted right now, but I see him as somebody who can absolutely contribute as long as he doesn't strike out at a 33% clip, which he was doing at the end of last year.
Yeah, he was doing that. I remember September. I'll mention a couple guys. Just want your opinion. Let's say Matt Shaw of the Cubs.
Well, he is a Terp, and I'm a Maryland softie, so he's a Maryland Terrapin, so that always is nice for me. There aren't a lot of them in the majors, so when we get one, we got to stick with it. I like him. He came up last year, struggled a bit, went back down. I think if I'm remembering correctly, he came up a second time and then began to show a little bit of why he was drafted so high. He's one of those, does a little bit of everything, but doesn't do any one thing exceptional. He's one of the guys I would want maybe as a bench guy to back up a more dynamic third baseman who, if he got hurt, he could certainly fill in. But I don't know if I'm looking at him as a top 15 third baseman.
No, I'm saying a guy that maybe you would take on your bench just to.
Yeah, and I see that as somebody, because I think he might get some second base qualification at some point too, especially if Nico Hoerner goes down.
There's somebody that gets really hot. When he's hot, I picked him up last year and had him for like 2 weeks, and he like tore the cover off the ball. Is Mark Vientos of the Mets?
The Mets, yeah.
I mean, he started off really cold last year. I don't know if you remember this. He was horrible. He was being dumped in almost every league. But then in July, he went on a torrid run of home runs. I mean, this guy was just on fire. So
he reminds me a lot of Max Muncy.
Yeah, Muncy he strikes.
Muncy's a better on base percentage guy than him, but they're both like a 3 outcome sort of hitter. Either they strike out, they absolutely rocket the ball, or they walk.
Yeah, Muncy, I think this will be his last year in LA. I think the Dodgers are going to sign
3 straight World Series is not a bad way to go out.
No, but Muncy's another guy that gets hot. That's not a bad pick, but he'll be on waivers. He'll be up and down on waivers. Trust me. Anybody else we didn't talk about?
Who did we not talk about?
I
like Jordan. I like Jordan Westberg in Baltimore, but he's got to stay healthy.
He's hurt right now.
I think he's hurt right now too. So it just kind of fits that. Jordan Lawler, if he gets a shot in Arizona, might be interesting to see what he can do. But outside of that, no, I think we named most players. I mean, we're going to see Nolan Gorman in St. Louis is finally guaranteed a job, so we'll see what he can do. Miguel Vargas, the former Dodgers prospect, is there in Chicago. He's going to get hopefully a little bit of leash to see if he can deliver on his promise. But those guys are all, I don't think they're necessarily draftable. I think they're wait and see. I think you put them on your watch list, and then if they get off to a hot start, you run to your waiver wire and bid on them.
Should we talk outfield?
Hey, I love the outfield.
So
go ahead.
Let's talk outfield. Give me your first tier. How many guys are in your first tier? And tell me who they are.
I have 6 on my top tier.
6?
Yeah. Aaron Judge, obviously, to me, is the clear-cut number 1. Shohei Ohtani, if he gets outfield eligibility, although he could be utility only, so that might make it a little smaller.
He said he wants to play outfield too this year, but who knows if they'll let him.
Juan Soto was almost 40-40 last year.
Yeah.
I think a healthy Ronald Acuna Jr. could be better than any of them if he's fully recovered. I have Kyle Tucker of the Dodgers, part of that all-star team.
Okay, I disagree on him, but keep going.
And I have Julio Rodriguez of Seattle.
If Julio cannot be a horrible hitter in April, if he can get to a good start, not a great start, just a good start, he can win the MVP. I know you like Judge, but I'm just saying if Rodriguez gets a good start and he does some good things throughout the year, he always does, and that Seattle wins the West in the American League, he could be considered an MVP, and it's definitely worth the bet because the odds on Judge are like 2-1. It's like a joke. I think it's closer to 1-1. It's like it's not even worth even betting. But I mean, Rodriguez, to me, I agree with you. He has these horrible starts every year. I just can't handle it anymore. So the only thing I don't agree is with Tucker, career 270 hitter, gets hurt. I just don't. I don't know. I'm just not. I don't.
No, I just think I didn't like him last year in Chicago because again, I'm not a big fan of Wrigley Field. I love him in Dodger Stadium and with this Dodgers lineup. I mean, he's going to be hitting in the middle of Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Shohei Ohtani. He's going to get so many pitches to hit in so many different situations that I just think honestly, to me, he's going to have a career year this year. As long as he stays healthy. You're right. Now, the injuries that have plagued him have been like a fractured shin. Like they're not ones. We're not talking about Corey Seager, who always has a hip or lower back soft tissue injury, or like Royce Lewis with a pulled hamstring, or
that other guy from the Twins who drives
Byron Buxton. Yeah. So I still believe in him, but I can understand why people are hesitant. But I have him, I moved him ahead of Corbin Carroll because of Corbin Carroll's injury, not because I don't think Corbin Carroll can do everything that Kyle Tucker can. And he even runs more than Kyle Tucker. But that hamate bone injury can sap your power for months. And I'm not sure. I'm not comfortable drafting a first rounder who's not healthy at the start of the season.
Same page. I won't draft him in the first round.
And so Corbin Carroll to me is a borderline first or second round pick when healthy. When he's injured or coming back from an injury, I'm going to be gun shy.
Me too. I'm not going to waste a great pick where I can get somebody else in the second tier, which I'll give you my second tier right now. But I mean, there's some great second tier guys that will have probably some better numbers than Corbin Carroll. I love Corbin Carroll.
Oh yeah,
don't get me wrong, but I just feel the injury is going to plague him this year. I'm worried about that, and I'd rather just stay away from it. So somebody on the border of putting him first tier, but I didn't. But I think he'll have a huge year this year because he's a year older. He's a young guy. I mean, he was. I think he signed when he was 19 or 18 for millions of dollars. Jackson Chourio of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep, he signed a team-friendly deal. Yeah,
I mean, this guy's like a stud. I mean, he can play. And I think with last year under his belt, I think he's going to have a big breakout year, like 30, 40 home runs, bunch of RBIs, stolen bases. This guy can do it all 5 categories. He does everything, Casey Scheinfeld. And so I love Jackson Chourio. I think he'll be there. Fernando Tatis, you got to throw him in there. Second tier, right?
Absolutely. I have him in my second tier.
I mean, we all love him. Another guy that's consistent, but he did better last year with batting average. He did better, so you can't knock him.
I know who you're going to say. Yeah, I have him in my second tier also. Yeah, Schwarber.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
And he crushed lefties, which was
oh my God.
Which for a lefty hitter who's never been able to hit lefties, he figured out how to stay back on the ball and just torched left-handers.
I mean, I'd rather draft Kyle Schwarber than Corbin Carroll this year. Just letting you know.
I think it's a safer one because you know what you're going to get. Not a great batting average, but incredible power and RBIs.
And then another guy I'll throw in there as second tier is Pete Crow Armstrong, just because he's a local kid and he steals bases. And he has a year under his belt, and I just feel he'll.
Yeah, I like him, and I like James Wood. I put them both in kind of that same category. The kid from Washington, they both were so bad in the second half of last season.
James Wood was horrible. He was
and so was Pete Crow Armstrong, and that just scares me.
I gotta look. Yeah, you're right. He was really bad. Woo.
Like his strikeout rate was obnoxious. And so. I can't put him in my second tier just because to me the position is so deep that he has the obvious, like I have Byron Buxton above him. I have Brent Rooker above him, even though Armstrong and Wood, their ceiling is 10 times higher than either of them, I think.
So who else? Anybody else in the second tier you like?
In the second tier? Jordan Alvarez, I like. I have him there.
What do we do with him? I mean, we expect these huge numbers, huge years, and every year he's disappointing. I mean, what am I
he's another one. It's because of injuries.
What am I doing with him? I'm not drafting him this year, so he's off my draft list. Do not draft list Jordan Alvarez.
Okay. I have nobody else on the second tier then. On my third tier.
Why don't you lead off the third? Tell me who's on your third tier.
I have Cody Bellinger there. I have Riley Green there.
Good.
I have Roman Anthony. I have Byron Buxton. And I have Brent Rooker.
I love Brent Rooker. What do you think about Jackson Morrell from the Padres?
I don't trust him yet.
Okay.
Like he was the least heralded of all the Jacksons that came up at once. And he had a great rookie year. I think he might have won rookie of the year because of how good it was. But he wasn't very good last year. And I just don't trust him yet.
So Jackson's somebody I do like. I'm not like in love with him, but if I can draft him 7th, 8th round, I'll take him.
Yeah.
Somebody else that I like is Jarren Duran of the Red Sox. He's another guy.
How good is that Red Sox outfield going to be with Duran, Roman Anthony, and Wilyer Abreu or Ceddanne Rafaela? Like that's a pretty stacked outfield.
They're good outfield, and their pitching's not bad either. They picked up a couple of good pitchers too. So the Red Sox should compete at least in the East, I believe. O'Neal Cruz, I think, will have a better year than last year. He's an outfielder now.
Yeah, if he doesn't hit though, he's got to learn how to. I don't know how long the leash is. I love O'Neal Cruz. He's an exit velocity darling. He hits the ball harder than anybody. He's a physical freak, but What did he bat 130 against lefties or something like that?
Somebody that I think that can lead the league in home runs. And you're going to laugh at me and say, Ross, you're on drugs. You say that anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This guy last year for the Angels, he had some really good months. Is Joe Adell?
He's got light tower power.
It's like 80-1 for him to lead the league in home runs. It's like a huge number. But last year, I believe he had over 40 home runs, right, Case? And this guy hits for power. His average.
I think he had 36 home runs. I'd have to double check.
I thought he had over 40, but okay, 36. Maybe I included the minor leagues too. But this guy, I think with the year he had last year, I think he's going to just improve, and the ceiling is really high. And I think you can get him kind of later than earlier, right? I mean, he's like
he's probably a fourth tier guy, so you can probably get him pretty late, end of the middle rounds, probably.
I mean, I love Joe Adell. I think the Angels will. They have no pitching, but I think their hitting's pretty good. But Joe Adell is somebody that I would take. Christian Yelich, hurt last year, was playing a.
He's hurt every year.
Playing a great year last year until he got hurt because I had him in fantasy, but he's back this year. So I just have him. I have him on my list again. I like Tyler Soderstrom of the A's.
Yep.
Sacramento. I just call them the A's. I'm not going to even say their town anymore. I don't even know what to call them. And then I also like Teoscar Hernandez of the Dodgers. I think he'll have a good year too. Same reason Tucker is going to have a big year. He's going to be protected in that lineup. I mean, that lineup is potent.
It's just gotten deeper. Yeah, I mean, a couple guys we didn't mention. Wyatt Langford, I think in Texas is going to be really, really good this year. I think you said Joe Adell. I don't think you can forget about Lawrence Butler. He struggled last year.
Did it, yes.
But he had bad knees and he ended up having knee surgery in the offseason. So if he's healthier, and somebody who I don't want you to forget about, the son of the great fantasy aspect, Tampa Bay Ray, and then Boston Red Sox Carl Crawford, his son Justin Crawford might get the starting center field job in Philadelphia. And this guy is pretty similar to his dad. He doesn't have as much power as his dad had. His dad could pop double-digit homers pretty easy. But this guy has hit over 310, I think, at every level of professional ball he's played, and he can run for days. He's probably going to hit near the bottom of the lineup in Philadelphia, which obviously doesn't help his draft stock, so you can get him really late. But you have to remember, if he's hitting in the bottom of the lineup, he's hitting right before Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. So he's going to get pitches to hit, and once he gets on base, chances are he's going to score a lot of runs. So that's a prospect who I really like. And somebody who I think could break out this year or be like kind of a hidden star is Jacques Caglianone of Kansas City. This guy hits the ball. He's huge. I mean, the guy is just gigantic, and he hits the ball as hard as anybody else. And his numbers in the minors were better than Nick Kurtz. Don't get me wrong, but he's a number 6 overall pick. I don't know if you're not going to get Nick Kurtz, so don't expect Nick Kurtz. But this guy has better than you'd think bat to ball skills and just hits the ball as hard as anybody. And I think earlier this spring he hit a 120-mile-an-hour shot in spring training. So
Caglianone,
and he's playing for Team Italy. So if you watch the World Baseball Cup, you'll see him and Vinny Pasquantino in the same lineup.
So a couple more new guys that are in new places. I want you to get your opinion if you think they're worth drafting or to stay away because they're in a new league. First one is Luis. Well, is it Robert or Robert? Every year I get it.
I know. I think it's Robert.
Okay, Luis.
We'll call him Luis Bob.
Luis Bob Jr. from the Mets. Again, that lineup is pretty good too. I mean, every year we're always saying, "Oh, it's going to be a breakout year. He's going to have 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases."
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done with him too.
I'm off the hype train. If he does really well,
I'll draft him. So
I'll eat it. Yeah.
Somebody, Baltimore picked up. No one's talking about it. Tyler Ward.
They traded Grayson Rodriguez to get him.
I saw that.
That's interesting.
So Tyler Ward, he can play. I mean,
right-handed power is hard to come by, and he's legit.
One of my value picks, because we didn't do him yet, is Kyle Stovers of the Marlins. When he was healthy last year, Casey, remember how he was hitting? Remember RBIs, and he was just a machine. The Marlins have some really good young players. including their catcher, including a few outfielders. I mean, they're not like a pushover team. I don't think. You know what I mean? I think they'll win 80 games. You know, they're not going to be this horrible team.
No, I love their pitching. I mean, Sandy Alcantara, if you look at his last 8 starts, was sensational. And Yuri Perez, that kid has Cy Young written all over him.
Yeah, they don't have him on the inning count like they did last year. I mean,
right.
Can only pitch 80 innings. What?
And then they have Snelling and White, these 2 stud lefties in the minors who are just waiting for a chance to come up too. Like, they can develop pitching. Holy crap!
They have some really good hitters too. Somebody last year who started off really slow, he was jumped in almost every fantasy league, but then he started hitting. I even picked him up. Is Michael Harris II of Atlanta?
Not junior.
Is it junior?
Not junior, I said.
Michael Harris. So what's your deal with Michael Harris? Is it worth drafting or just stay away?
I think he's similar to, I think he's a really good 4th outfielder. How's that? If you're in a 5 outfield league, he's obviously worth drafting. If you're in a 3 outfield league, I wouldn't mind having him as my 3rd outfielder because he's a 20-20 guy who can get on base at a good clip and score runs. If he's up near the top of the lineup, he's got Acuna and Olsen and Riley and Albies, all these hitters around him who can knock him in. I don't know if this isn't to say he's not worth drafting. He's not on my target list. He's with Jose Altuve for me. How's that?
Got it. Somebody last year that got hurt that was on track to have like 30-something home runs when he got hurt. He was out for like 6 weeks. Is Dylan Cruz of the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, he was the LSU kid who played with Paul Skeens. I think one was drafted first, the other one third or something like that. He hasn't lived up to it yet.
No,
to me, I'm excited by him. I like him.
Me too.
I'm not a huge fan of that Nationals ballpark, but he's one he's on my watch list. I don't think he's on my draft list. How's that?
I'll take him in late rounds. If people don't respect players that play on bad teams, but you and I do.
Yeah.
He's somebody that I would feel comfortable starting every day, in all seriousness. I think he's good for 30 home runs if he can stay healthy. He's way under the radar for most people that aren't familiar with Major League Baseball in the smaller markets like you and I are.
Yeah.
But, I like the kid. He's on my value pick or sleeper pick, any way you want to interpret it. But, another guy that Dan Ratner hates. He hates this guy.
Ian Happ.
Ian Happ, University of Cincinnati. This guy has good stats. This guy's not a bad player. He's not. But Dan, for some reason, just despises him. I don't know why. But, is he somebody that you would consider drafting, or you just going to pass on him?
I think one thing that's important to clarify, depending on how a draft shakes out and where I am in certain points of the draft, there's nobody who I'm going to say absolutely would never be on my team. If I need a third outfielder near the end of the draft and he's available, he fits the bill. He's not going to hit for great average.
Byron Buxton, first of all, you're not they're not taking Byron Buxton.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. I don't think anybody. I think in the right circumstance, if I end up getting great value at other spots in my outfield, I end up drafting later than I wanted to. That's where the Ian Happs of the world and the Andy Pajes and maybe Dylan Cruz, as you mentioned, or Wilyer Abreu, or I'm even like, I don't know, Jacob Marcy. Those guys are
I like him from the Marlins. So Casey,
taking chances.
Rookie of the year, the big favorite this year, big favorite, and this guy is a stud. I saw him play.
Connor Griffin,
and the Pirates are getting a lot of hype in the spring training. Everybody's saying the Pirates are going to make the playoffs. Pirates are going to make the playoffs. That's all I hear. And Connor Griffin is one of the reasons why. How big is the ceiling for this guy? Is he somebody that you would consider drafting on your team?
Oh yeah. But I'm a big fan of admitting your biases. Everybody knows I have a bias for prospects and for young players, and I'm willing to take the lottery ticket. He's been compared to kind of like a young Fernando Tatis, if you remember how he came up and just took the league by storm, that he's got that level of athleticism,
right?
But they think he can stick at shortstop. I think it's more likely there's going to be growing pains, but I absolutely would draft him in the middle rounds and
middle rounds. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste a top 50 or 60 pick on him. I shouldn't say waste. I'm not going to use a top 50 or 60 pick. I think, there's 7 or 8 shortstops. We've talked about them already who are going to provide you plenty of production. And unless there's injuries, but I like the kid. I think he is obviously the favorite in the National League. Although JJ Weatherholt in St. Louis has a guaranteed job, he could be up there in the discussion as well for Rookie of the Year. I don't know how it works for like Trey Yesavage, the pitcher who came up near the end of the season. If he's still a rookie,
Savage is American League, but also they have him on an inning count this year. He's going to just pitch like 120 innings.
Okay.
I mean, it's ridiculous that they're going to have him on he pitched so much last year because he went.
You also have that kid McGonigal who could get the job in Detroit in the middle infield there, who could in the American League.
Right.
So the National League, Nolan McLean,
you love from Cincinnati. You like Sal.
Sal Stewart. I like Nolan McLean. That pitcher for the Mets is pretty dynamite too.
Yeah, I don't think a pitcher to win the Rookie of the Year is really tough. I like is Connor Griffin or Sal Stewart, like you just said. Those are my two guys. Connor Griffin, I've not seen him play. I've not seen him swing the bat. So I'm going to watch Pirate games, spring training games. I will watch it. I promise. And I want to see him. I watched the Pirate game last week, and he did not play. So I'm hoping to pitch again. I know. I didn't watch the whole game, of course. I just wanted to so I can report back to you. But I'm excited to see this kid. He supposedly his like velocity when he hits the ball is supposed to be like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And his power supposed to be great, and he's fast. So I want to see this guy. So anybody else, Casey, that we missed that?
No, I think we named a lot. Evan Carter, I think, could be if he's healthy again in Texas. If you remember what he did when he came up their World Series year, he was one of their best outfielders. Randy Arozarena, despite his flaws, always tends to put up decent numbers. He's in Seattle now, I think, right?
Randy's in Seattle, correct? He was there last year.
Yeah.
So before we go, I just want your opinion on where you would draft him, or would you draft him? Is Mike Trout of the Angels?
No, I'm not drafting him.
Okay.
Look, the guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest fantasy player of all time for his 10 peak years there in the late 2000s and 2010s. But no, he's moving back to center field, which to me means he's definitely going to get hurt again and worn down. I would rather have Joe Adell or Zach Neto from that team than.
I love Joe Adell this year. I think it's a great
than Mike Trout. I hope I'm wrong. He's been a great ambassador for the sport. He's been a class act. Never anything. There's not a ding on his character, a ding on his off the field stuff. He deserves nothing but success. But I can't justify him being more than a reserve on my bench.
The Angels should have dealt him 4 years ago. No seriousness.
Oh, sure.
And they should have dealt Ohtani too. They just bad GM moves. They could have got so much for Ohtani and Trout. They could have been a contender this year if they traded those guys.
That's funny. I could have been a contender.
They could. Can you imagine how much the Yankees would give the Angels for Ohtani? Like in July during the All-Star break. How the Yankees would give their whole farm system for him.
Oh yeah.
And so would the Dodgers.
The Phillies would have.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Imagine
GM.
putting him and Harper. They came up at the same time. Imagine putting them in the same lineup, and they were both raking.
Oh. Okay, Case. So we have a fantasy draft on Sunday, right?
Yes, we do.
You're not going to take any of the players we talked about, which is good.
Nope, I'm not. I'm going to let you have them all.
Thank you, sir. And then we'll see everybody next Thursday, which we'll talk about
pitching.
Pitchers,
yep,
relief, and starters.
We're going to give you some names, although I don't like to pick relief pitchers because it's all a big crapshoot anyhow. Who led the league in saves last year? Ninth round pick Estevez from Kansas City. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
we really, how many times do we like drop relief pitchers and pick another one up? You know what I mean? I do it constantly. There's only like 5 relief pitchers I would take and not drop. That's me. Okay, Case. So anything last words you want to say before we sign off?
No, enjoy this weekend. The World Baseball Classic starts. It's a good chance to see some of these players in action because they're representing their country. And then we will be back to talk more spring training next week.
Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Ross the Boss, and that's